Welcome back. And for those of you who weren't with us yesterday, this is Grumpy Rob's Guide to Surviving Home Working, because anybody can be an expert now. So we've decided to make Rob an expert. So welcome, Rob. Rob's here with us to answer questions, and we have many questions coming in. So I think we're going to get straight to the questions today, Rob, if that's
Good.
okay.
Yep.
First of all, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine. Can't you tell from my face how joyful I am?
You do look very fine. Yeah, absolutely. Great. So first question I have for you, and this question comes from Sarah from Sandbanks. Now, this is quite serious because we know that relationships can get strained. She's asking, is it possible to get divorced online? And if not, will stabbing your partner still be a crime during this period of lock-in?
Unfortunately, at the moment, as far as I know, you can't get divorced online, and I would imagine that stabbing your partner will remain a punishable offence. So I would say refrain from both. If you do feel you might want to get divorced, then you might want to get on to a solicitor fairly quickly, because I'd imagine there's going to be quite a backlog at the end of these 12 weeks of people getting in touch to see what they can do about removing an unwanted partner from their lives.
Okay, so it could be more difficult than getting an online delivery of groceries, really.
Yeah, I imagine the waiting time will be about the same. Yeah.
So I think what you're saying here, Rob, is keep away from sharp objects during this period.
Very much.
Yes, if need be, book one. Or on a more serious note, there's probably some good online counsellors that you might be able to talk to.
Certainly.
Okay, so second question on relationships. My partner and I are already getting on each other's nerves. I'm suddenly noticing things which are really irritating. I think that's from my husband.
As the boss of the company, there's no way I could comment on that, Gillian.
Okay. But seriously, I think in this, very confined space, it does put a spotlight on things. I do have an example. My husband, when he empties the dishwasher, I've never realised how much he likes to bang things away. He's almost playing frisbee with the plates from 6 foot across the kitchen, and all I can do is sit here thinking that's another chip on my china. So, I understand how little habits are going to start getting, really highlighted. What can people do in these circumstances?
Well, in your specific circumstances, Gillian, I would suggest paper plates. They don't make any noise, and you don't need to wash them up. So they are two savings straight away, two great pieces of advice. I suppose the other thing that you can do is, we all know that, one person in each relationship is playing up and one is playing down, as it were. So if you're the person who's playing down, as I am in my relationship, then cut the other people some slack. We know they're not quite as perfect as you are or I am, so we should actually try and make some allowances for their inadequacies.
Yes. Okay. So, I think, yes, just recognize their feelings, perhaps feel a little sorry for them. Would you discuss them at all, do you think, or just try and ignore them?
I think try and ignore them as much as possible is the best way. Because if you get down to it's just the way she breathes, when you're getting down to that level of annoyance with somebody, it's not going to help if you bring it up, especially if you're in confined space and you're locked in together. And as you said, there are sharp implements around that they may choose to use on you.
This is true. And obviously, if you'd already got to that point beforehand, then, perhaps you should have had that conversation. So let's go to another question here. We have so many on this one. And this one comes from Cynthia from Cardiff. And Cynthia says, what can we do differently in the evenings? Usually dinner would be when we talk about our day, but having to work together, I don't really want to talk to him anymore than I have to.
Right. Okay. Well, taking you back to one of the comments we had yesterday, or the answers we had yesterday about working times, is have the same working times as much as possible. Ignore your partner as much as possible all day, so you do have something to talk about in the evening. That would be my advice. Treat them like they're not there. Would be the best thing to do all day. Then talk to them in the evening.
I think that's called ghosting, isn't it?
It may well be. I understand that's some new modern fangled thing that I don't know about.
So ignore them during the day,
Mm-hmm.
talk to them in the evening. Have you got any suggestions of topics, which could be over dinner topics, which could, regenerate conversation?
I suppose it would be things like the challenges you face during the day, the difficulties you've had communicating with your colleagues, the sorts of things that your colleagues do that actually help them keep their relationships alive.
Okay, all right then. And alternatively, if you can't think of anything to say, any other suggestions?
Scrabble.
Yeah, Scrabble.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Rob. We love your pearls of wisdom. Thank you so much. We're going to leave it there for today because we've run out of time, sadly. Tomorrow, we will be back with another topic. And tomorrow, we're going to start to tackle the even more difficult issue of managing minors. So those of you who have children at home, you'll want to tune in to hear that one. We will give you some of Rob's great tips on how to handle them. So don't forget, you can be an expert too. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good day, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.